Welcome to the Kinkazoid Podcast, where you get some education on your form of stimulation. With your hosts, Royal, Chase, and Trey Proper. Buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a wild ride. Let's get kinky. We're here.
Yeah. Are we live?
Oh shit, we live. My breath was in the air.
Can I get my drink together, man? You ain't give us a countdown. You need to start saying 3, 2, 1 or something. I'm over here mixing my beverage.
I'm mad. The first thing to see is literally my breast in the air being raised.
That and me mixing a drink. I'm pouring it up.
This is now my favorite episode.
Damn. All right. So welcome. Greetings. I can't even put the fucking voice on that. How y'all doing? It's your boy Trey Proper.
Yeah. It's been a little while.
It's been a while. Yeah. We do apologize for that. We're gonna get right into it. Ladies, if you will introduce yourselves.
Yeah, what's up, y'all? It's your girl Royal. No tagline necessary. Just recognize she's a queen.
What's going on? It's your guy Chase. It's your girl. It's your guy. Your girl. Hayes. Doesn't matter how you say it, as long as that flavor stays in your mouth. You see what happens when we don't come on here for 2 weeks in a row? Everybody forget what we're saying, our taglines. It's craziness.
I had to think about it for a second. I really did.
Start making beverages and everything.
Yeah. But guys, yes, we apologize for our absence. 1 week was just not a good week, and the other week was Easter. So, praise him.
Man.
Hashtag
I got ready to do the show, and I looked outside, and I have 15 cars outside my house. Like, oh, that's today? I probably should start going to church more. Yeah, okay.
Wow. I probably should. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a whole heathen with my family. I ain't even gonna fake.
Heathen.
It is what it is.
Double DM.
It is what it is.
AM to the PM.
I've heard that before somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, all right. So, I'm all out of whack. But welcome, guys, to another wonderful episode of Kinkersway. We got a great show lined up for you tonight, and we're gonna be playing a lot of catch up. So, first things first is, as always, our toy of the week. The toy of the week is something that I stumbled across in my searches in the kink spaces. Something that is disturbing me to my core, and there's only one way to describe it. It's by saying what the hell it is. It is a dual-powered vibrating testicular stimulator. Now, me personally, leave my balls alone. I don't want your best for my balls. I don't need no toys for my balls. I'm good on my balls. Leave them alone. Kiss them, lick them, suck them, stuff like that.
That looks dangerous.
But,
that looks dangerous.
I'm surprised. I think I'm surprised by your reaction to it.
That is dangerous. Why is that?
The reason why I say that is because, generally guys like their, balls handled. Like, during head.
Are you looking at the same picture I'm looking at?
I saw the picture. It doesn't.
That looks scary.
I don't know.
Handled?
I can't the way that the motor is positioned. It does look a little scary. Like,
man, that man got his balls suctioned in a cup. No.
And what if your dude he has big balls? Like, is it like different sizes or something like that? Like, does it come in different shapes? Like,
and they not something you can just restrict inside of a cup. Like, no, don't do that. And then you're gonna jostle them very violently. No, we good.
It vibrates. It's a vibrator.
It's a dual-powered vibrating testicle stimulator.
Why is there a dual? What is the dual?
Because it's getting each ball. It's catching both of them. It's catching both of them.
Like, are there different speeds, like different levels? Is it like a progression?
I am not going to explore any further.
On that type of freak level, I don't want to mess with. If some man was like, "Yo, baby, I got this," and popped out with that, I'm like, "Go home." That is scary.
What this reminds me of are the guys who use like the chastity. Is it chastity? I forgot what it is. The one that's like in it, not the belt, but when it's like in the cage.
Oh yeah, fuck no. I've seen them shits too.
I don't know what that is. No.
You're not Cajun.
No.
Yeah, it's like the thing that's used when it's like a humiliation thing. When you're trying to like deny them an erection and all that stuff. I'm a sub, so I've never used any of those things. I promise y'all, when I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna post it next week and we're gonna talk about it, or I'll just post it in our Discord. But yeah, like it's a whole cage for the dick.
Ain't no fucking way, bro. Like, how do you understand? I've seen them shits. Yeah, we're gonna talk about them shits one day. They infuriate me. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I know you're not used to it. You got to get reacclimated to us. How you doing?
It's all good. Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you for coming. Share the video so people who done forgot about us can bring their asses back on over here and get kinky with us.
Nah, man, fuck that shit. I ain't that should look weird. That should look weird, bro.
Facts.
I ain't with it. It does look like a torture device.
Like me putting my whole titty in a. That's like putting my whole titty in a suction cup. That is, I don't. Mm-mm.
You know what? It do remind me like, and I haven't had one yet, but it reminds me of those horror stories like mammogram machines, shit like that. Like you just
Yeah, squishing your titty. Mm-mm.
Hard pass.
And imagine your dude broke that out and be like, "Yeah, baby, you ready for what?
what?
For what? What are we doing?
You know,
Why do you have
let's
that on there?
let's think
How does
about
it
this.
stay on? How
Does
does it
that
stay
Hey, hey,
on?
put 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 the
Nobody
picture
ever
back up.
asked
Put the
that
picture back
question.
up.
you're
If you
supposed to
would
like
just do
turn
it.
your head and cough? Is that what that is? Because that's what it looks like a
Is there a
medical device.
suction cup? Because how is that staying on?
Hub
It,
Deucer, put the picture back up just in case somebody
is
is
it
joining
the
it in
weight
that.
of the
But
balls keeping it up?
no, I'm saying put it back up while we're talking about it still
No, he
because
is. He has it
He
up.
is.
okay. All right, cool. I didn't see it yet. But let's now the modules are on the outside, so maybe it's not for vibrating the balls. Maybe it's turning your balls into a vibrator because it's positioned like if you were in doggy style position, it's actually stimulating the clitoris. As you're thrusting, it's giving that
So
option
you're
because you.
thinking it's from the back. No, that don't make sense.
I
No.
mean, if you're from the back, like you're.
That don't make
I need
sense.
I need
No.
some more
No.
I
It
need some
doesn't
more
it
research
doesn't
to be
no,
done on
it
this
doesn't
object.
mm-mm.
I
Because
really do.
because it
I'm
just
trying to find a
wouldn't
silver lining.
it wouldn't no, I'm still trying to figure out how it fits. Is
I,
this a ball fits all? Like,
mm,
kind of thing? Like, I'm not
That's what I'm saying. Because
understanding.
like,
I
what if
need
the
two
dude is
cups.
bald headed?
And
Like,
then also,
what if
it
he's
doesn't
bald
look
headed?
like the wire is that long. So where are you tucking this? Underneath your stomach? If you have one, like where are
In
you
between
tucking the
your
control at?
legs.
Like
You got
where's
to
the
thrust
check?
with your legs to close
Like
together.
are you
And I
keeping
feel like this is something that needs like a remote or something. Like, why you got this little this device with the wires and stuff? Like, I feel like it would
like
get in
do
the
you
way.
have to keep your boxers on to tuck it in your waistband? Like I'm just concerned. Like what is this?
I'm confused.
Ugh.
I need to see it used. I need to see it used because it's just not making sense to me. And the fact that it's a triple A battery operated, like, come on. Like we couldn't even get the double A. Like, this is not feels like a solo male device. This doesn't feel like a we're doing something together
I don't.
device. Like this is a
I
very
could be a
solo male.
different type of dude, but I don't get pleasure from my balls being vibrated. I just.
But see, that's what I was saying. Like, okay, so when you're getting hit, do you like them to be like cupped and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Like,
stuff like that, but not.
but not jostled.
No,
Like I don't, and
no.
see, and that's what I'm wondering, like about the vibration. Like if it's a gentle type of
You know,
vibration.
this looks like something that you use to get someone pregnant. Like, let's just say that you and your partner wanted to have a child, right? And they're like, "Oh, your swimmers ain't swimming like they supposed to, whatever like that. Here's a
Okay,
device to put on
We're
to
supposed
heat
to
the balls
stimulate the
up,
swimmers.
like to stimulate the stomach to
I'm
like
gonna buy
buzz
one
it,
for your ass.
like to vibrate it, to vibrate it and everything. I'm gonna skip past that. To vibrate it and like to make your swimmers like a little bit more active and stuff right before you have sex, so that way they are like they're not dead marching soldiers going up there. They're live in action.
So it's to wake
That's
them
what I
up,
think that would
pretty
be
much.
a medical grade like semen enhancer or like sperm enhancer. My apologies,
Mm.
sperm enhancer.
Just
It's to make
you
the
drop
swimmers
your
swim in a circle.
exactly. Wake your asses up, motherfucker. Wake up. You got work to do. Like just no, I'm good. Hard pass. So of course, moving on to the next thing. Also in my searches, I was looking for a good position. And for this one, you're gonna need a willing participant and a very, very sturdy table and chair.
Dildo at first, I'm sorry, go ahead.
And nobody asked you about your damn smart. And you know what? All right, moving on. Go ahead.
Wow. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, this position is simply called the kitchen, whereas a individual is performing oral sex by leaning back on the chair and having her in the all fours position on the table and lowering herself onto his face. So yeah, it looked interesting. Looks kind of fun. Like if you into some little food play or something like that. But I don't know. What you ladies think of this one?
We didn't have this before? Because I swear we talked about this before.
Did
Did we
we?
not? Yeah, we
We
did.
talked about it in our meeting. I don't think we talked about it on the show.
No, we've had the kitchen before.
Have we?
Yeah, because I talked about there was a song called Kitchen Table. Like I brought up like those. I think we brought up the kitchen.
Um,
Maybe. I think so.
Or
Or
maybe something similar to it.
oh, I think it was something similar to it.
Either way, I'm down for it.
Either
Listen,
which way, as long as I'm getting
as
8,
long
I'm
as
good.
the
Like,
family supports me,
Ultimately, that's
I'm
the
good.
question.
yeah, we did. Yeah. So any which way, but as long as I'm getting 8, that's all I'm happy about.
Listen,
Shit.
let me know if you
I
need a plate.
mean,
I got you.
Lick it up, slick it up.
you might need a chiropractor after this, but yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like that is, you get it all in. You get it all in. Yeah, that's my positions. All right.
No argument here.
I don't know. I was
I had
looking for.
somebody lay me
I'm
back
running out of positions right
on
now.
a couple of
Okay.
bars on bar stools and eat
I
me like that for my birthday. That was a good birthday.
Wait, what about bar stools? Wait, back up. What'd you
So
say?
you know how like at a residence inn they have like the little bar stool kitchen area, whatever. So I was sitting on one of the bar stools and they laid me back on the second bar stool. So my like all my balance was just on the bar stools and my weight was on his shoulders and he just ate me out
Oh,
for the
that is
birthday.
not.
Good
I
shit.
was like,
Good
you know
shit.
what?
Little wheelbarrow action, just going
Yeah,
forward, shoulder
good
shrugs.
birthday.
Yeah.
I have 2
Good
bar
shit.
stools in my kitchen. I think I might need
I
to.
am never sitting in your kitchen again. I will sit on.
Maybe not
No, I
in
can't
your
sit any in
kitchen.
y'all house because
Maybe
y'all just.
go
Listen,
somewhere in someone else's
listen.
kitchen.
Unless you plan on standing up every time you come over my house,
It's about to be that. I'm
I'm
about to
good.
be outside on the porch. Matter of fact, I can't even sit on the damn porch because I don't know
Well,
how you motherfuckers
you
get
know
that.
it's about to get crazy in there this summer
Oh dear God.
when them children start dispersing. That's it. The
What is the
dispersion.
weirdest place you've ever given oral sex in?
The weirdest place?
The weirdest?
Yeah.
Oh.
Given or or received. No children summer. Oh Lord, yeah. I ain't coming to see y'all until it's cold outside.
Wow.
Um,
Whatever. I plan on redoing my backyard or something, so I'm gonna need y'all to show up for the cookout. Okay. So
Oh, okay. I'll walk around. I'll walk around the house.
I don't think any of my places are weird because it's like people been there, done that. So I don't think
The
shut up,
weirdest.
okay? Because I'm pretty sure it's been some places, okay, in your house on your furniture, and I done been there. Okay, so I don't want to hit. But anybody who has their own spot, no surface is safe. I don't care. I don't care what you say.
Yeah. It's other people's shit. I'm not sitting in y'all juices. The weirdest place I've ever received oral sex was inside inside a car wash. Yeah. Like
I can see that.
you forgot
It was the one that you drive through, right?
Yeah, drive through car wash. And yeah, that was a quickie. Given?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's not weird.
Okay.
But at the time, when I was at my first year in college, me and my first, whatever, his roommate was in his room, my roommate was in my room, and we kind of just, he just went ahead, and I was like, sure, why not? So we went to our friend's room, whose roommate barely was there, and we were like, hey, yo, can Candace like give me head in here? And he's like, I'm not leaving my room. He's like, hey, yeah, just watch TV, whatever. And so he went on his roommate's bed and he put a blanket over my head and I just gave him head while our friend just watched TV in his bed. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right then.
Little exhibitionist. Okay. No judgment over here.
Would not do that today because that's like mad fucking rude. I'm watching TV in my room. You want to come in here and get bust down in my room while I'm watching TV? What the hell?
Go to your own room.
Yeah.
I'm not sharing my space.
Dorm life.
I was just gonna say the weirdest place for me was in a Sam's Club parking lot. So
The prices got you kind of horny, huh?
While a girl was driving, I was hoping that.
Ooh,
$39.95. Listen. Your priorities change when you got kids. Okay, I'm just saying, Sam's Club got some good shit.
Shit.
It looks like nobody was up for that machine. Everybody was very upset about that ball.
I think so.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I was looking for something different, and it was like I got to show this to the class. It's got to go into the class.
Yo, if I was the type of person, listen, okay, first of all, I got a whole fupa in the way of this whole car situation that he's talking about while driving. Even if I didn't have that, I still don't know if I'd let you do it while
How is that even? Oh, are we? Ooh, it's paused. We're frozen.
Interrupted?
Yeah.
No, we're back.
Yeah, we're good.
I
Are
think
we
we're
back
back.
now? 'Cause my shit is
I
still
think so.
rotating. Oh, now we're back. Yes.
Okay. Sorry about
Anyway,
that.
I'm just
but
like,
like I still
you
don't understand unless this person like is weighing under 160 pounds and the person also doing it is under 160 pounds. I still don't see this happening. And what kind of car is this? Is there no console? Like what is it?
hello. Like, where
Are
was
we
the
in
gear
a
shift?
65 caddy with the cushions that go all the way across? Like how is this happening?
Did she have her chair all the way leaned back? Like, and then he says, I kind of put my life in God's hands.
It happens.
Yes,
It
you
happens.
did.
It
There's
happens.
no way that you're able to do that.
I've
I'm sorry.
I've given a girl roadhead before. I've done it.
How?
You have to have a Ford Taurus SHO twin turbo. That was my car at the time. And yeah,
I don't know what that is, but go ahead with your life.
it was a nice size, not mid size, but a mid
Did it
size
have a
sedan.
console?
It did. Do you mean the middle
Yes.
armrest? No, not really. It was low to the seats.
Yeah, I've given. I mean, like, I've given roadhead or whatever.
She's driving with one leg. She's braking or gassing.
No,
With her left leg?
Yeah.
no.
Now hoes is driving with a not dominant leg for driving? Yeah, right. Nah.
For
I'm
some
sorry.
head.
Wait, what? Wait. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Left leg, yes. Brake or gas.
Nah.
Nah.
That's too much. That's too much life at risk. Sex is not that important to me. I'm
It's
sorry.
not.
That is
It's
not that
not.
important to me.
Sometimes you got to live the adventure. Okay, that's
No,
part of the
it is
fun. You
not
just
that
got to live the
important.
adventure.
You're gonna end up like a cross on the side of the highway.
Hey,
Y'all keep playing with
I'm
that.
still good. I'm okay. I'm all right. What the hell?
What's wrong with you?
I'm looking at the outline and I'm just trying to figure out what the hell was the next thing.
Just read it.
Pre-cum versus slip and slide.
Oh.
Well,
I'm
let's
looking
just
for the
roll with
context.
it. Yes, I hate pre-cum. It is something disturbing in my soul about it. It just makes me feel a little off. Like if you get an Uzi like a lady, it just weirds me out. I don't want to reach in your boxes to stroke you, and I'm coming out like, woo, ooh, what's the tissue? You know, it's just a little bit too much ooze for my flavor, and also pre-cum tastes nasty to me. I don't know why it does, but it tastes nasty to me. Now I know that there's different levels. Like there's guys that do pre-cum and you don't notice that they pre-cum, and there's guys that like pre-cum, like they can go through their boxes and they shorts if they wanted to. Like I get it, but like yeah, I don't know. It's not good. But if my would you consider wetness pre? Because I don't think that's pre. I think that's just lubrication. That's just the body getting ready for the entrance of it all. But yeah, I don't like pre-cum. But I think the discussion was pre-cum versus like, why is it okay for women to be wet but men can't be wet? So I think that was the battle here.
Okay. I yeah, no, I'm not really a pre-cummer, so I don't have experience with that, to be honest. It's a little bit there. That's it. It's like a little dab.
Yeah.
Like I don't have like I'm not ruining my underwear in that case when I'm excited. Yeah. But I guess it'd be bad if you're telling a dude he's disqualified because he's got a little more extra in the tank.
No, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, ew, gross. But obviously, preferably, it's just obviously I'm
a
not
little
gonna
dab do you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna know until I know.
Okay.
And then when I know, I'm like, ugh. I think it's like because I've only dealt with like 2 to maybe 3 dudes who were actual like full blown pre-cummers, like a lot. And then every single time it threw me off. The first time I was like, what the F?
Are they prematurely ejaculating? Like I'm
No, it's just what? I don't know. I'm a texture person. I'm a feel person. It just gets a little off.
Okay.
With that. So yeah.
But you swallow, right?
I do swallow. That's not the
point
is.
No, I'm trying to understand your rationale. So it's not I'm trying to make comparisons.
I don't like the taste of it. So there's that. It has a different taste than actual altogether semen. And then also, like I said, if like we're about to get down busy and stuff and I grab your shit and it's already like wet, like if it's as if I touch myself and then I rub myself on you, that's like, oh, that's crazy. I dealt with that, so you know.
Just need to make a skit of that. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, like it's just like it's like I'm like okay, right? Somebody's been excited for a while. Hey. You know.
Okay, Royal.
I don't know. This isn't a version that Chase and I don't share. Like I am happy that you're that excited, to see me, to get into it and all that other stuff. I just the wetness of it never bothered me, especially if I'm like giving head or something like that. It's just a precursor to the real thing. You know what I'm saying? So
okay.
Yeah, I have no issue.
All right. As far as wetness, yeah, I put my hand down there. I'm happy that you're ready to go. For me personally, I don't produce a whole bunch, so it's not a problem for me. Like I don't know.
But is there a difference? Is there a difference for like wet or too wet? Like, cause like if I get too wet, then I can't really feel nothing. Like I
Yeah,
feel it,
there
but I don't
is.
When
feel
the slip and slide is
nothing.
too slippery.
Yeah, when it's too slippery, it's just like, can you just wipe it up a little bit? Because this is just too much. Like it's too much. Sometimes
Yeah.
it
I
can
feel like it's like that when we go in rounds. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's like a back-to-back type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so it's like I need to clean up in between. I can't, we can't, for me personally, I can't, do it one time and then it's like, gushy. And then the next time, I need there to be some type of friction still. Because if it's too
Mhm.
wet, I can't feel what I need to feel, if that makes sense.
If it gets too frothy, I'm sorry. I'm laughing. I'm laughing. Different show. Cam and Rick have Thirsty Thursdays. They made a drink with a vodka sour, but Cam put egg white into his drink to make it frothy, and Rick hates the word froth, so I just immediately started laughing. Sorry, but yes, to go along with what you're saying, I mean, yeah, I guess
I'm gonna put
anyway,
that
but
right up there with moist. Like moist and
I still don't
frosty. Don't
understand why moist is a problem. It's just
I don't know.
moist.
It just gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. It's
Like I
always
said,
bothered.
moss. Like, come on, that is moist. Anyway, but yeah, it's a problem when when you stroking away and it keeps slipping out because that joint is just like you said, a slip and slide. So
Mhm.
overly excitement, I guess. But it's just a matter of you can. The trick I use: stop fucking, pull out, start eating, fingering, kind of like gathering as much as I can on my fingers to try to wipe it on my leg or something like that, and then go back to work. And yeah, frothy.
Only imagine. Ooh, well, all right, let me go back.
I mean, but you be slick with it. You be slick with it,
No, man, that's crazy.
Sometimes you just gotta lap it up. You just gotta lap it up. It is what it is. Yeah, that's all we got for that one. Say again.
No, go ahead.
So 2 weeks now, I'm realizing as I scroll through this fucking outline, 2 weeks ago, I made a TikTok. That was my reaction to, I guess, men in the real world who are not familiar with where the man of the boat is. And I was flabbergasted. Like you get to see my genuine reaction, and I'm just
Triggered. I was triggered. That video triggered the shit. I mean, a man TikTok took it down. I was so
they
triggered.
took it down, and then they put it back up after 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because I kept reappealing that shit. Like I didn't do anything wrong. But besides the point. And yeah, so I just basically they show a diagram of a vagina and they're asking guys, and I think they might be in the UK. So Americans, we might be okay. Shut the fuck up. Anybody want a dog? Anybody want a dog?
No.
He's cute. He's
Mine are
adorable.
barking also. It's all good. But go ahead.
This must be something going on. Anyway, but they hold up a diagram of a vagina and they're asking the guys in the UK, hey, do you know where the vagina is, where the clitoris is located? And I am going crazy in my head, like it's the fucking man of the boat. Like literally, it's at the top. Like I don't understand how somebody can miss that. And apparently, from my comment section, I learned that it's not common knowledge. And I'm sorry. I'm deeply sorry for that, ladies.
It honestly didn't make any sense to me that every last one of them thought that the urethra was the clitoris. Like, seriously, every last
Right.
one. There was nobody nobody had any idea where it was. And it is like, you're not even pointing in the general vicinity, dog. You're looking at a hole and saying, oh, that's her clitoris.
Like, it's literally a bean. And if you think about it from a male anatomy, it's an underdeveloped penis. That's
Yeah.
essentially what it is. Why would you think that
pillow.
y'all are so much different than, like, come on, just put your fucking face in it and you'll be able to find out.
Or
The
when a
thing about
person's
it,
literally pointing to it and you're like, nah, that can't
that's
be it.
not it.
That can't be it. That
She's
can't be it.
lying to me. She's
I
lying to
don't
me about
know
her
what it
pleasure.
is about some men when it comes to the female anatomy. It's like you feel like you know what a woman wants, and you feel like you know exactly what her pleasure is, and you know exactly what her pleasure point is, you know exactly whatever. And if she doesn't catch a nut, then that's something that's on her because she's got too much on her mind or whatever may have you. When in fact, you didn't know where it was in the beginning. Like you didn't know what she was doing at all. And I bet you those same men who were like, "Oh, it's here. Oh, it's here," are the probably ones who talk the biggest about their sex game. That probably are like, "Oh, I'm so good at this and I'm so good at that and whatever." And I'm like, "Yes, does every vaginal area look different? Of course it does. There are plump,
Mhm.
there are skinny, there is sideways in some form, there's loose lips, tight lips, all those things in between, okay?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, the positioning of the body doesn't change unless there's some form of a deformity. Other than that,
Facts.
it's going to be your standardized 1, 2, 3. And the mere fact that, like, you think that the clit is, like, somewhere totally different is it's dumb to me because there's so many different avenues and scholarly books and everything. Like, even if you were questioning it and you didn't wanna feel ashamed about asking someone, go Google it, look it up, get a science book,
Facts.
something, like, you can't like, bruh, I'm sorry, but when I was in, like, 8th grade and stuff like that, during sex ed, they were showing us diagrams. They were showing us exactly what this is, whatever. Now, it had labels on it and everything of, like, clitoral hood, clitoris, this, that, and the third, with shaft, head, balls, whatever the case may be, or testicles is the
That was the
Mhm.
progression
whatever.
then, because when I
Um
was coming up,
mhm.
they didn't have any of
They
that.
didn't have it at
Yeah,
all.
but it's just
Mm-mm.
like, even if they didn't have the diagram, they had the words, they didn't have the words, it's like, you kinda just chose to, like, be funny with it because you were a kid, and you
Mhm.
weren't, like, really, really looking at it, but you're a grown ass adult now. Like, there should be not any excuse for any person on this world who doesn't know what a male or female anatomy looks like.
Not at this
Mhm.
point, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so here's the thing. I think sex ed has definitely progressed since, the
Yes.
80s babies were in school. Because
Mhm.
when I was in school, there was no label for the clitoris or anything like that. Like, we didn't have full definitions or diagrams of what the vagina was. It was really more so what our reproductive organs were. So it'll
Yeah.
just say like vagina, and then it go into our fallopian tubes and uterus and ovaries and all, like that was it. That was really all we had. It was just to tell us what our reproductive organs were, and if we have sex then we can get pregnant. So don't have sex,
Mhm.
this is how your body works, but nothing specifically on the vagina itself.
Mhm.
So now I think sex ed has, like I said, progressed so much further than it was when we were in school. So but still, I think people who are in their 20s and 30s, and up, there's no excuse for you not to know where a woman's pleasure is derived from. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I think you should be doing your own research. And honestly, I feel like if women, if y'all out here lying to these dudes, please stop lying to them, because you are doing nothing but
But just a
creating
disservice.
hello, nothing but a disservice. And it's more unsatisfied customers right behind you. Okay. It's just like, I know y'all saw that thing I posted in the Discord about DJ Envy's wife, where she said that she's
Mhm.
been faking orgasms for 21 years. Come
Jesus
on. Come on,
Christ.
son.
Can we talk
I
about
but
that
I
for
but
a
I
second?
think that also in I feel like I froze. Anyway, in that
You're
manner,
good.
right? When you're saying that after, because I'll be with the men on this side, right? because you're not going to and it typically always said that now since we're broken up, now since we're not together, now since, something's
Since you
going on.
pissed me off in an argument.
Are we here? Because is it buffering? Because I don't, or is it
We're
just
here.
my side?
We're here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're here.
But yeah, so now that we've broken up, now that I'm no good to you anymore, now that something's happened between us, now I got this little dick. Now my stroke game is horrible. Now I'm this, that, and the third, right? Okay. So let's not do that. If we've been married for 21 plus years, okay, and we have children together at this point, okay? And I know DJ Envy, I believe he cheated at some point in time
Couple
and,
of times.
whatever. Yeah, a couple of times, okay. So granted, he broke the trust, he broke the foundation and publicly embarrassed his wife and kids in doing so, right? But you stayed with him. After every cheating incident, you stayed with him. He bought you a new fur coat, a ring, whatever the case may be, you stayed. Cool, whatever. Now that you're getting divorced, now don't come out with trying to embarrass him more than you've already been embarrassed by getting cheated on multiple times. And with, oh, well, in our 21 years of marriage, he's never pleased me like sexually with an orgasm.
That's what I'm
Okay,
saying. So
at
sis,
the end of the day,
if you were unsatisfied,
you embarrassing yourself.
for
You're
real,
embarrassing yourself because you're trying to make it seem like, "Oh, he doesn't know how to please women." What girl, you are walking around here proudly saying that you stayed in a marriage for 21 years and never did anything to try to achieve an orgasm by your husband?
not
That's
one.
embarrassing for you.
Not
Not one.
one out of the
That's
entire 21 years that y'all was fucking, you telling me you have not got
had one
one
orgasm and
orgasm?
So a
you
couple of
didn't do the due diligence of either saying something to him. If you did say something to him, did you introduce toys into the bedroom? Did you go to a sex therapist? Did you do anything to like make it that your husband could possibly get you there? Did your husband try to get you, like, did he try to include himself in this sex therapy to get you there? Like,
What it sounds like to me is that there was a breakdown in communication in this entire situation, okay? Because there
That's
are ample times in the 21 years that you were married to this man where you could have pulled him aside and had a whole grown-up conversation and said, "Babe, something ain't working." After not even after, the first month of your marriage, 6 months, whatever. They had been together what, a few years before they even got married. So you talking about 23, 24 plus years.
well, that's the thing. So the couple of caveats. Now, I guess I'll go a little bit on her side on this one. Couple of caveats with the situation. When they started dating, she was 15, he was 16. So they were dealing with each other from childhood into adulthood.
Okay.
So this also tells me that you're dealing with two people who have no idea what the fuck they're doing. It's just
Sure.
hard, wet, I'm done. Okay. So there's no experience on either side. And as they were only dealing with each other for a while and they got older, he thinks he's doing what he's doing. She's coming from the old school of thought of, I'm just going to be quiet. He's taking care of everything. I'm going to just do what he got to do. And as we go into the later 2010s and 2020s, the sexual awakening of a lot of women in America has started to happen. They're starting to realize that, hey, I don't have to sit back and not take this. There are such things as orgasms out there. There are things that I was not experienced to. And also my husband's cheating on me. Who's to say I'm not cheating on him? And I found an orgasm somewhere else. And this is better than you, but I want to stay with you because we have all this history. So we can't, I hold them both accountable for what is going on. This is another example of, don't put your shit out there for the world to pick at because we can't get the full fucking picture.
Right.
And also fucking communicate so that you don't have these problems. Like, if you two don't enjoy each other anymore, then fine. But do that shit behind closed doors. Stop opening up the fucking veil for clout, which is what they're doing. Because this whole thing got sparked up because they wrote a book together. A tell-all book about DJ Envy and Gia. We don't give a fuck who y'all are. DJ Envy, you're second mic to Charlamagne the God. Spin your fucking records. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about your sex life. You're not two Aphrodite and Adonis figures in the world. Shut the fuck up. You're doing this shit so you can sell your book. And now you look stupid. You both look stupid.
Say
But
that
that's
DJ Envy is definitely a more powerhouse name than Charlamagne the God, because DJ Envy has been doing this shit way longer than Charlamagne the God, and he has his own entire name for it. But I will say that when it comes to this situation, looking at it in that aspect, if they started doing it as pubescents and being together and they only just had sex ed 2 years prior to that, like, middle school, 8th grade, 9th grade ish at that time. And like we're saying, you're only learning 1, 2, 3, obviously if for, let's just say 15 years, no one stepped outside the marriage and this is all you knew and this is all you had, then definitely yes, like, you're not going to know what pleasurable peaks you're supposed to be reaching because you don't have the outside body experience outside of that person. But that also doesn't give an excuse that when you did start procreating and, being in a marriage and being in a household, we're not gonna act like adults don't do adult things with each other. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's couples who watch porns together. There's couples who do all these
Yeah,
different
there
things
are.
together that probably never thought of doing it with another person, So even if this is your first person, if they were each other's first, like, I'm sure that they've kinda talked about, "Hey, baby, da da da," especially with DJ Envy being in the business that he's in. I'm more than sure hearing dudes talk about, like, "Oh, I had this chick doing so and so and so. I had this da da da." And even her, and she had her girlfriends who, like, have had multiple men in their lives or who have had grander sexual experiences. You both have had these conversations with people. And there was some type of failed communication, like Royal said, that when y'all came together as a couple, you both either didn't listen to each other or you both were too scared to communicate with each other that I think we could take our sex life to a higher height because you didn't want to offend with another one, like, each other. So if, like, if you're in your 10th, 15th year of marriage and you hear somebody say something outside and you bring that into the bedroom, what's gonna happen? It's gonna, I don't know, make someone feel insecure. Like, because if you're each other's first and you hear, "Oh, well, somebody so and so did this for this so and so, maybe we should try that." It's like, "Well, why are you thinking about so and so doing that with so and so when this is us?" It could
Yeah.
create a whole entire argument that you didn't expect it would do. So
Mhm.
it's one of those things where I can understand if there was a failed communication because you didn't wanna hurt each other's feelings. You've both been doing this since you were 15, 16 years old, and it's scary trying to look for new information because you don't wanna make them feel bad because it could have been her. It could have been at her own fault if we flipped the script. He probably could have been looking at some stuff and then her walking in, "Why are you looking at porn? What are you doing looking at porn? Like, why am I not enough?" Vice versa. It could have been the same thing with him. So,
Right.
I feel like for you to come out and say, "Oh, well, 21 years of us being together and da da da, you never give me an orgasm, blah, blah, blah." Well, why haven't you been able to give yourself an orgasm to teach him
But
how
that's
to
the
give
thing.
you
Who's
an
to say that
orgasm?
she hasn't?
I'm
Who's to say
I'm
that she
just saying
hasn't given herself an
I'm just
orgasm?
saying, like, as a devil's advocate,
Mhm.
Mhm.
have you been doing this justice to yourself to be able to tell your husband how to do it to you, or have you just been silent? And if you have been telling your husband and he hasn't been cooperating with you, but has been able to go outside of your marriage to do it with other women, why was you staying in the first place? Now, I
Right.
understand comfortability, but taking the money away, why didn't you, like, do something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or step out too. I'm just
I
saying
don't know.
something has to give.
A lot of
I
women
need
stay
to know
stagnant
more
in those type of
detail.
relationships.
I need
Right,
to
that's
know
what I'm
more
saying.
detail
So it's like
because it doesn't make sense.
all speculation because
It
we don't
all
have
doesn't
any
make
more
sense.
details. But it's
Yeah.
like I think a lot of women stay in situations like that, not even money, what I'm saying, aside. A lot of women stay in situations like that because maybe, like they have kids together and you want to
Yeah.
stay with the man that you had your kids with or
Mhm.
whatever, whatever. Because in
'Cause they
my
got
own
6,
experience, I've dealt
7
with
they got
dudes
6 or
where I
7
would be like,
kids, right?
you said what?
They got, like, 6 or 7 kids. So
Something like
I
that.
mean, they was
They
clearly
got
effing.
kids. They
They
got
got
kids.
kids.
They was
I mean,
pumping.
there was clearly pumping.
Right. But it's just like,
Well,
you know what I'm
he
saying?
was
But a lot
clearly
of
pumping.
guys aren't receptive. And then that's another thing about communication. You got to make sure your partner is receptive because some dudes will be like, if you try to tell them, oh, well, I like it when you do this, or maybe I'm trying to, rub on my clit while you're in it and you smacking my hand out the way telling me I got this. Like, no, no, you don't. You
Obviously, you
don't have
don't.
it.
Obviously, you don't. And also,
Obviously.
Angela Yee talks about sex, like, all the time. And if DJ Envy and Angela Yee have been working together for the past,
10
what,
years.
10-ish 10-ish years. So you're telling me that you've never had a conversation with Angela? I mean, obviously nobody wants to have a conversation with their partner's coworker like
Right.
that. But I feel like at this point they're so engulfed in each other's lives that I don't think it would be off or odd if that was, the case. So I'm like, you're telling me you didn't even ask Angela Yee like something? You didn't like I'm not saying that this is all her fault and she needs to be blamed for it, but also don't put it out there like my husband never pleased me. Well, what did you
But
do to
you
try
stuck
to
around
please
for
yourself?
21 years.
Yeah, like what did you do to try to please yourself? Did you do any work? Did he not listen? Did he do any work? More importantly, like
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for sis, and I'm gonna say that maybe for 21 years she was trying to communicate with him about the
mhm,
lack of orgasm in their
mhm,
sex life.
mhm.
And if that is the case, and now, I mean, because you got to think about it this way, right? The man cheated.
You went
You know
mute.
what I'm saying?
You mean yeah, say it again? The
I'm
man
on you.
Yeah, no, you're back now, but you went out for like 5 seconds. So you said if he went out of his
He
marriage.
went outside of his marriage and he created more dissatisfied customers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like
Not dissatisfied customers. I'm
I'm
sorry.
just saying.
That took
I'm
me
just
out.
saying.
Woo, that got me. Woo.
I'm just
Oh,
saying.
So
dang.
After
I'm start calling that
21
down.
years, I cannot fathom somebody sitting there and not saying anything about not being satisfied for that long, for that amount of time. I can't see it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm and saying that she had to have said something.
And that's why I think what Trey said was most importantly to know is they've been doing this since they were 15 and 16 years old.
Yeah.
So if you
Listen,
don't know, then
but
you
you grown.
don't
At some
know.
point in time, you're a grown up. You're an adult. I knew
Yeah.
what an orgasm was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
I came up in an age where the internet was like just introduced and stuff like that, but I still, when I got to I knew my body. You know what I'm saying, made myself have an orgasm. I
Mhm.
knew how to get myself there, and I knew that my partner wasn't getting me there. So even in my early 20s, I was still able to identify that there was a problem,
Yeah.
and I addressed it then, but the person wasn't receptive, and that was the problem. That was the big thing for me. But for her, I'm just saying, even if they were having sex together at 15 and 16, I lost my virginity at 15 too, you know, but still, like, once you get to a certain point in your life, you know what things are. You
Mhm.
know
and
how
you
your
also
body
didn't
works.
marry the guy you lost your virginity to.
You said what?
You also didn't marry the guy you lost your virginity to.
Hell no.
You got up out of there like, okay, this ain't it. I'm not spending the rest of my life with that. But
Right.
what I don't like is when people turn it around and put it solely on him. Not saying you guys are doing that, but a lot of people will say, well, he ain't doing it. He ain't doing like personal accountability, because ultimately, who's the most in your opinion, who's the most responsible for your orgasm?
Yourself.
You.
You. You are.
You're responsible for your own fucking orgasm. You
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 are.
need to know how to get there before you try to get somebody else to know how to get there. Don't
That's what
like
it should
I had a
be
conversation with a friend
yourself.
earlier today, and she said the same thing. She was like, "No, you gotta know something. We can't. I don't feel like directing you. Like, what the fuck is wrong with directing? You're
No,
like, you
directing
gotta
is
you gotta
fine.
direct your own
Right.
fucking movie. You gotta direct your own fucking movie, so you get the Oscar at the end. God damn it! Like
Listen.
people, we gotta
All I'm
talk.
saying
We
is
gotta communicate.
if you never played a
I'll
game.
shut up now.
No,
No,
I'm
no,
sorry. But
no, no. Please.
I was just going on with what you were saying. If
Um,
you never played a game before, right? How am I
mhm,
supposed to know, like, if I introduce you to a new game, how are you supposed to know to play the game? If you've never seen the game before, if you never
mhm.
looked at the game before, and I'm like, "Okay, let's play the game." You're like, "I don't know how to play." Well, you should just know how to play. Like, that
That doesn't
literally
make
doesn't
any
make any
sense.
sense. So it's
If
just
I
like what
gotta
you're
guide you in like an
That's why
air
I'm like,
traffic
I'm agreeing
controller,
with
then that's
you
what
in
I'm
that
going
because
to
that
do.
was just like, that's dumb. Like, what's wrong with instructing a person?
Nothing.
Mm-mm-mm.
Absolutely nothing. And there's nothing wrong with instructing a person, and there's nothing wrong with receiving instruction. You don't know the next person's body. You don't feel what they feel. So
It's,
it's absolutely fine for you to accept instruction. It's absolutely fine for you to instruct that person on what brings you pleasure.
and that's why I think we should normalize as not just a community, as a race. We need to normalize sexual fucking report cards. Like after you've done the do, this is why I think kind of little shade your way, Candace. Don't give them Bama's just one chance. Like, you try it out, it might have been trash. See, you try it out, it might have been trash. But you give that you give that individual a report card, and because what really pisses me off about this is that there are men and women who are capable of opening their fucking flies and letting somebody else into you physically, and you can't open your mouth wide enough to have a conversation and say, hey, I'm willing to, this is how I feel about this situation. This is how I feel about this. I'll let you in my body, but I won't let you in my feelings. It's kind of ass backwards. Like, fucking talk to each other.
So I'll go back to it, because why I laughed is because I thought you meant mouths. And I was like, why would he say flies? And I was like, oh, flies. That makes sense. And then pants. Anyways. But no, I was just going to say, to go back, since it was direct palm trees put over me. That the reason why I don't is the reason why she's complaining 21 years later, right? Is because I'm saying, first of all, don't do that. Don't make fun of these legends, okay? All I'm saying is that when it comes to having sex with me personally, I am the person that's always been meek and not saying anything. I'm like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, this feels good. Yeah, I'll fake 8,000 different orgasms if you need me to, because this is what you think you're doing. And I think this is what's supposed to be happening. It's at this point in my life, in my sex game, it's one of those things where if something happens to you over and over and over again, you just think this is just normal, and that everybody else gets to experience it, but you're not going to experience it because your body just doesn't function correctly. So it's like, I honestly don't expect much out of sex. Like, as long as you're penetrating and filling me up and making me feel good, I'm fine. It's cool. But because there's been a countless number of times where I have not had the greatest climax in the world, I'm just like, okay, it is what it is at this point. So I'll just enjoy the time that I'm here. So if I already know going into that, I'm not finna catch no peanut, cashew, hazelnut, almond, nothing out of this experience, then I want to walk into this experience having a good time. Now, it could be the greatest of times or not the greatest of times, but I want to have some fun in the middle.
Yes.
It's possible to enjoy sex without the orgasm.
Let me clarify something, because before now, sorry to cut you off, but before now, you have never gone into that much detail. It's always been, you got one chance. It's your audition and fucked up. Now
I don't feel like I have to overly explain myself for me just to say what I need to say.
So don't. All I'm saying is that now I have a better understanding. So I'm retracting some of my shade, because if you are, well, you gonna have a couple. Here's two more motherfucking coconuts. Let me finish the damn story. What I'm saying is that if you were even during, that's partly what I'm talking about as far as communicating. During the sex, if you're directing during and telling them, and now if they're not reciprocal or receiving what you're telling them, that's on them. Fuck them. Don't give them another chance. But if they're taking that direction and they're moving the way you're telling them to move, cool, that works. That's all I'm saying. Like, we, both men and women, need to communicate and start to evolve our sexual experiences, because we can't just keep going on with the same stupid shit we've been doing.
All these instances that I never gave another guy a chance, that was the thing. I'm like, okay, well, maybe we could do this, or maybe we could do that. And sometimes I could just tell you're not going to do a good job. I can just tell. And not because I'm telling you what to do or not to do. It's just, how do I say it? There's not a whole lot of science behind sex, honestly. If you get down to the bottom point of it, it's a pushing and a stroke. It's a pushing and a stroke. Now, if you build on top of that,
that motherfucker with headphones on.
That's when you get into like, oh, you're really good. You're okay. You know how to swing your hips this way. You know how to work your this. You know how to whatever. The base foundation is just for cis hetero relationships, right?
I'm gonna say this: the biggest key to it is if you say "stay right there," stay right there.
Yeah,
that is I'm not gonna lie to you. That is one of the hardest things where you got the same speed, that same
on top
speed.
Of like what you're learning. What you're learning, you can build on top of it. That's perfectly fine. But there are some people in this world that unfortunately not everybody's supposed to be with everybody. Hence why there's some people who only have relationships with this long length of a person because they're great with this person. They don't need to be with nobody else. There's other people who hop with other people like it's nothing because they
Mm,
haven't found their person yet. So that means not everybody's going to have the greatest sex communication with each other either.
Mhm.
No matter how much, whatever. What person I find to be trash may be the greatest thing that came walking to another person. Okay.
mm,
So I can tell while we're in the midst of it, this is not gonna be good for me. I can off rip because you're not being attentive to not even me, the experience. I'm an experience hoe. I need
mm.
a good experience. Like the
Mhm.
sex could be bad, but you give me a good experience, I'm fucking with you. like you give me a good experience, it is what it is. So I just think that when it comes to having sex and everything, if you know it's not good for you, there's no need for you have to return to find out if it's gonna be good the second, third, or fourth time. If it wasn't
Right.
for you the first time, it wasn't for you the first time. That's
And I mean, I
that's
understand that
all
because
it is.
if you're given instruction during and it's still not where you want the performance to be, then okay, well, we tried. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like you weren't communicating with him to tell you how it was feeling for
Mhm.
you,
Yeah.
how what was feeling, what wasn't doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it would be different if you weren't doing that. But if you were doing that and then it still wasn't up to par, then
Mhm.
yeah,
But
don't let the person back in your boat.
even if you're having a good sex session, like the sex is good, you could be giving me a horrible experience and I
Mm.
don't wanna visit you again. You could have made
Mhm.
me come 8 times, squirting all over the room and all this other stuff. But if my experience with you was horrible, I'm still not gonna go back to you
Right.
because you made the experience of me sexually with you a a bad experience, and I don't wanna deal with that,
Mhm.
like, at all.
Gotcha. All right, so we're just checking out some of the comments we have here over on YouTube because everybody should be over on YouTube anyway. Scrolling back up and I'm gonna get to you. Like Genocide Circus Jesus, what school system were you in? That's called the American system, American education
Facts.
system, says Jamaica F.
Facts.
Let's see. When parents complain and opt out of sex ed, facts, they're
Yes.
dumbasses.
Mhm.
Um, just got here what I missed. DJ Envy. Okay, that was me talking to her. And then 21
21
years is
years
too
too
long.
long.
Random question as it pertains to Do Envy and his wife. How old would they were 16 and she was 15, he was 16. And asking because if she never came into an understanding of her body before they got together, that would explain how she lacked that kind of vocabulary. That's fair, but
Mhm.
I don't know how old their oldest kid is, but they've been together for that long and they got 6 goddamn kids. She understood something. She understood something. So, but the other part of that whole thing with DJ Envy and Gia is he said that she brought it up during an argument. So it's not something they had a major breakthrough in their relationship. No, she was mad, so she knew enough to say you ain't make me come, which leads me to believe somebody else made her come. But that's besides the point. But you threw that in his face,
Someone
One of
and
else
he
those
was
told
low
her
blow type
oblivious.
of
yeah,
things. Like
or
it's a
someone
low
else
blow. Like
told
you
her,
mad.
like
He
no, I was
was
gonna say, or
oblivious.
someone else told her, "This is the experience you experience
I'm
when
not
having
giving her
sex,"
out,
or
but
something like that.
not to delve too far back into their conversation because ultimately we wanted to have the discussion about our kids because with all this, yes, they were young when they got together, and maybe a better understanding of sexual practices, better understanding of the biology of the human on both sides of the sexes. Sorry if I'm offending anybody, but yeah, there. What age do you think is best to tell your children about the birds and the bees, and not just when a man loves a woman or when the vagina and the penis? No, no, no. Like this is a clit. These are balls. Like when are you getting into the nitty gritty of things with your kids? Me personally, I had my first in depth conversation with my son when he was about 9 years old. His mom came to, I'm co parenting, and she came to me crying because she realized he's got hair under his arms and you got to talk to him because she's fucking dramatic. Anyway, but I sat my son down and I had a conversation. I grabbed a toothbrush holder, showed him how to apply a condom on with the reservoir and everything. Pulled up an actual porno. Was like, yeah, that's what this is. That's what that is. This is the button you want it. I showed my son the man in the goddamn boat.
At night?
So
At 9?
yes, and I'm always been open and honest, even with my siblings. Like, you need to know these things. You need to know these things because you don't want to be on somebody's fucking TikTok getting laughed at. So fucking learn.
I
But
feel like right now would probably be the
mhm,
best time to be descriptive about what the inner workings of it. And I mean, my oldest is 14. Yeah, y'all know that. But I think right now would be probably be the best time to have that discussion. Probably somewhere between like, I don't know, the teenage years, I would say have the in-depth conversation. But in like the early years is when I would go into the introductory of this is what you have, this is what they have, because you don't
you say that early when they can talk.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like introduce that stuff early, because it's like, okay, you don't want anybody like doing anything to your kids or anything like that, not to take it there. But that's really what the major thing is when you have that introductory conversation with your kids, is so they can identify what parts of their body are not supposed to be touched. You know what I mean? And then once they start to get older and they start to have interest in their body in that way, then you can say, hey, this is how this works. This is what this is. This is what this does. You know, have that in-depth conversation. Like we started talking about sex probably when my oldest was maybe like 13. And any questions that they have, you know, like my 12-year-old too, any questions that you have, ask me. I'm going to tell you, because I don't want you to be in the dark, because I was in the dark. So yeah, no, I think for me, anywhere between in the teenage years, because middle baby will be 13 this year. So 12, 13 up, we can have that full-blown conversation.
Don't worry, I got him. I tell him what's going on. Let's have a conversation, son. Let's go ahead.
I think that between talking age, so between real good talking age, like before that, I would put signals, like knowing what signal is, like, you know, like not saying coochie or pee or anything like that, but just literally like here, like knowing what the no spot is. Where's your no spots? This is your no spot. This is your no spot. That's your no spot. Like, where are my no spots? Like my little cousin, because I literally was practically raising with my cousin, because he's a single father. Okay. And so I would be like, to play a game with her, if somebody touch you here, what do you say? No. If somebody touch you here, like, so she knew where her presence was, that this person is not supposed to be looking, touching, or anything. So I would say between like the one-ish, I would say between 2 and 5, maybe like short as 4, I would have it be, well, 4, they could talk real good. Or 3, they could talk
like 3.
So maybe like so between 2, maybe like 1 to 3 years old, knowing the no-nos area. 3 to like 12, 3 to 11, maybe. Yeah, to 11 or 12, I would be like, this is your penis, this is your vagina, this is your breast, this is your chest, this is your butt. Okay? Like these are the words. We're gonna use them correctly. Like, you know, these are the correct words for your body. I wouldn't get into the sex conversation until they were about 11, 12 years old, because 11 when I had my first menstrual cycle. And some girls are earlier than that when they have their menstrual cycle, but I think I was about 11 when I had my first menstrual. So I would want to make sure that they knew this is what a menstrual cycle is. This is what your body's going through. Your balls are going to drop. Your tone in your voice is going to drop. Like, you know, like hair is going to start growing in places that you didn't have before. Things are going to start itching because that hair is growing in your body, you know. Don't be out here just scratching your yang stuff out here in the public because it's itching, all right? Just relax a little bit. But I would make sure that they knew what this is, what this body part does, what this produce. No, there ain't no daggone stork. Okay,
no,
there is a mommy and a daddy or whoever.
This birds and the bees bullshit too. Okay, we not
getting busy and creating these kids. If a 3-year-old knows there's a baby in mommy's tummy, she know, like they know what's happening.
You ain't eat up a baby.
Yeah, you didn't eat a baby, so they know a baby got there some way somehow. They know a stork didn't come drop a baby and then push it up in you. That's traumatizing. You gotta think that the lies that you tell are very traumatizing to kids. Okay, they're very traumatic. So that wouldn't make any sense, because if I saw little sister or brother growing inside your stomach, how in the hell did a bird just drop it off? That don't make no sense. How you go from skinny to fat to skinny? What's not making sense here? So I would want to describe to them what is happening. Now, I don't have to go into like crazy, disgusting,
Yeah.
Stuff, whatever. But I'm gonna let you know when a penis goes inside a woman. Well, and I will be the one to be like when they are married, because I
Right.
don't need y'all to be out here having unwed kids all over the place. Y'all need to relax. So when two people are together and when they're married or whatever like that, this is what happens, and then they have a child. And that's what happens. Now, when it comes to learning exactly what like a clit, that and that, come talk to me when you feel like you're ready to have sex, and then we'll get down to the nitty-gritty of that.
Yeah.
Until then, just know the basics of what these body parts are. Until then, I would advise all my kids, don't have sex till you're 18, because I feel like at that point, you really know who you're becoming and who you're turning into, and who you feel like you'd be ready to give yourself to if you wanted to.
Mhm.
So, you can have fun, you can talk about it, you can joke about it, you can blah, 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 and all this other stuff, but wait until you're 18 to be a legal adult, so that way you know exactly what you're getting into. That's
Be
all.
careful. I will say this as somebody who was also given the abstinence talk. Be careful with that.
Oh, it's not abstinence. It's not abstinence. I'm saying, like, if you're gonna have sex, you're gonna have sex. I'm saying wait
Oh,
until you are 18. Just wait. Just wait until you're 18. If you feel like before you're 18, you're like, I really like this guy, I really like this girl, I really want to explore this, whatever. Let's sit down and talk. Let's have a conversation.
Mhm.
At any point in time, let's sit down and talk and have a
the last
conversation.
thing I wanted to do was talk to my auntie when I was
But
trying to get
but 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 but,
smacked.
like, it's not about, like, I don't wanna talk to you, whatever like that. I want you to feel comfortable with me, because if you're my child and you're not comfortable with me to feel
Yeah.
safe, then that's a problem. That's something I'm not doing. I'm doing
But
something bad as a parent if you don't feel safe talking to me. So I would
Right.
want you to feel safe enough to come
mhm.
to me and discuss with me, like, I have some questions. I just wanna know because sometimes they don't even wanna do it. They just got questions. Like, they have literal legit questions that they just wanna ask.
Yes.
So I would want you to come to me and ask questions. And if you feel at one point in time, hey, I kind of think I'm ready. Okay. If you think you're ready, here's the equipment. Here's a this, here's a that. Not in
Right.
my house. Do what you need to do. And like, if your mama, if they mama catch you, that's your ass. But like, here's my things. I don't know what to tell you. I would just want you to wait until you're 18, you're off exploring the world and figuring out things on your own without knowing that I'm over you.
I
If
agree
that
with you. I
if
think
if
that
if that makes sense? Like, you're out, you're in college, you're in the tech field, you're doing something away from home that you can take the time and not have me, like, gawking
yeah,
at you. Go ahead.
I agree with you. But at the same time, kids, the first place they're gonna go is their friends.
Yeah.
So I agree. Yeah, I've told my son the same thing. Like, don't do it. Don't do it. It's gonna pussy's gonna fuck up your life if you get too much of it too fast. Just chill out. Just don't be out there rushing to get into it. But
Mhm.
and I leave that window open, that door open for conversation and communication and everything, because I'm big on that with my son too. But realistically speaking, kids don't always want to come to their parents. They don't always want to come to
Yeah.
the authority figures in
Mhm.
their lives.
Mhm.
So all we can do is lay the information out there for them. When we see the opportunity to tell them about it, in my opinion, you take that opportunity to tell them about it and make sure they are informed. Checking the comments over here, looks like a sperm and egg meeting isn't about how good the sex is on her part.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Okay. And as an elementary school teacher, 9, 10, 4th, 5th grade. Yeah, yeah. Like, the kids are developing way faster than they were when we were younger.
Mhm.
So yeah, I felt it was appropriate to tell my kid around that age. He was around 9 or 10. Hey, this is what it is, and lay it out for him. He always, of course, he had to explain the understanding of these are my no zones, like you said, private
Mhm.
parts, whatever have you. We ain't do that whole ding ding and ling ling. No, we ain't, no, that's your dick. Don't let nobody touch your dick. Don't say that in front of your Mimi, but you know what it is. But yeah, so did they? So as far as you guys' sex education upbringing, I think, did we answer this? Did they go over where the clip was in
We
your sex ed?
we answer that. But it
Did
wasn't
we?
for me. Yeah. Not for
Okay,
me.
yeah, because I ain't say that. Like, literally, we had that cut in half diagram, and it was like, I don't know. I just see a whole bunch of loops and whatever. Somewhere the baby goes. I don't know. I was a little kid. I ain't no idea what the fuck I was looking at.
Mhm.
Yeah. They
It
showed
wasn't
the
until
they showed the uterus, fallopian tubes,
yeah.
and they showed the ovaries and just like the inner workings of our reproductive system. Nothing specifically about the vagina.
But they also need to update that because I was today years old. Well, not exactly today, but a couple days ago. But I was today years old when I found out that the ovaries are closer to the spine. I did not know that.
Yeah, because they look
The
connected to the
uterus
fallopian tubes.
the uterus is here, but the ovaries are back here. So
Mhm.
they're not out to the side. So all
Mm-mm.
my
Know that.
life, because of these diagrams and whatever, the person who did it, because I think she does some type of surgery. She's like, I don't think it's ever been shown what a uterus and ovaries, fallopian tubes, what a woman's productive source system looks like in a
Mhm.
live body. Usually
Yeah.
we see it in a dead body, so we don't see how it's connected and stuff. But in a live
Mhm.
body, it shows what it looks like. And so she had like she did like some in, the camera and stuff, and she took a picture of it. And it's like the uterus is like a little fist ball that sits at the bottom, and
Mhm.
then it has the ovaries that are closer to the back, and then it has the
And then the
fallopian
fallopian
tube
tubes.
kind of like
Yeah.
around, and then the uterus has two muscles. What are you drawing?
This is the best I could draw in like 15 seconds. How it was
That's
explained to
That's
us.
how it
Yeah,
looks, like it's directly
that's how it
But
looks,
for the
yeah.
connected to the
longest
But
fallopian
time,
tube in the front.
and then
That's
I
what it
didn't
looks like.
know
for the
there's 2
longest time, I thought the
muscles.
shit was in you guys' hips. Like I was like, why is they all the way
Yeah.
over there? That's
But
how I thought
then
they
no,
was.
and then what I realized is there's 2 muscles that hold and anchor the uterus down. So as the baby grows in the uterus, that's why there's a lot of, like, stretching and it hurts a lot because those 2 muscles are being expanded to keep the
Mhm.
uterus in place. It's just like, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, "This don't look like nothing I've ever seen." Even if I seen a 3D dimension of, like, a woman's productive system, I'm like, "This is crazy. I didn't know that the ovaries are towards the back. That's
Sitting on the
bananas."
sides of
And
you
then
guys' hips. Like,
bro,
oh,
and
she
then
got good hips. I mean, she
she
got good
explained
ovaries
it
in
like,
there, homie. Yeah.
this is why there's
Mhm.
some misplaced pregnancies or fallopian tube pregnancies
Mm.
and stuff, and you can see
Mhm.
why, because the wires cross and, like, get stuck, and it can, or you have some that the egg can travel outside of it, and you can see why it travels outside of it. I'm like, "That is bananas."
Mhm.
'Cause a
Okay,
woman one time
so
was pregnant in her kidney. I was like, "Damn."
Somebody was pregnant in their
kidney.
kidney?
There was, yeah, the egg had traveled and fertilized itself in their kidney, or was it their liver? Either which way, it was the
Shit.
organ where it didn't belong, and had they been in a state that abortion was illegal, that woman would have to sit there and die. So,
Mm.
there's that.
Wow.
It's called move. It's called get the
Hello.
fuck up out of there.
I'm
Um,
traveling.
so enough about the fallopian tube. um, you know what? And Royal, I'm blaming you for this last topic. I'm blaming you, and all the shade and toxicity from this point on is
Why are
coming
you
smack at
directing
you
it to me?
because you are the reason why I had to finish this bullshit ass show that we watched. I'm talking about none other than Netflix's Ultimatum, where
Mhm.
they take a select group of couples, all in their mid 20s to mid 30s, and they're preparing for marriage or they want to be married, and somebody doesn't want to do it, and they give the person an ultimatum because fucking no reason at all. Like this fucking show. So basically, people are like going on dates
It's like
with
wife
the
swap,
other.
kinda.
Yeah, it's like a wife swap. Like if you
Mhm.
just want to fuck other people, just say you want to fuck other people, but don't go through all this fucking pageantry.
What's funny
If
was
you've
a
seen
lot of
it,
the people who were there didn't wanna be there. Like, they wanted to still be with their partner and, be in their relationship,
you know
but
what I'm gonna tell
their
abroad
partner
if she
dragged
tell
them
me we
there.
going on Ultimatum season 2. We done. We done. Oh, I'm fucking somebody else that night. I'm going somewhere else. God damn it. There's no way I'm going on TV and embarrassing myself like this. But for if you've watched it in the comments, drop how you felt about the show. Ladies, how did you feel about this show?
I
I thought
just
was
feel like when it comes to shows like this that have a decision of some sort of like, "Oh, I have to choose you, Pikachu," or whatever the case may be. Why the fuck did you bring me on this bullshit ass show? Like that's the first thing. If I have to go on a show to figure out my love for a person, like these marriage boot camps. Now we like with the celebrity marriage boot camps, we all know that's for money. That's lucrative for them. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the regular, like regular folks that are doing like regular marriage boot camps, if we had to come on a TV show to nationally air out our dirty laundry instead of just, and I understand you want to do it and get paid at the same time instead of paying a
They don't
therapist.
get paid?
They do get paid because you're on TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's the mere fact of anytime you're on TV, you get paid for it. But it's the mere fact of that we could have did this in a therapy session with somebody, and then we could have quietly got rid of this stuff. We didn't have to air out this stupidity. We didn't have to do all this stuff. And I understand it can grant opportunities because from some marriage boot camps I've came, the new bachelor or bachelorette, and now they're on TV looking for their new mate and all this other stuff. I think it's dumb. Now with this show, if I've given you plenty of private ultimatums, or like if we don't do this, I'm gonna leave and I'm still here, this is my fault. Okay. I don't know why we're bringing it to TV to tell people that it's my fault while I'm still here. Also, what makes this show very stupid is the people who get jealous of their partner going on these said dates, especially if it's the partner who is not willing to commit to the person. How are you going to get jealous of your partner going on a date with another person when your partner straight up told you, baby, I want to be with you and I want to be with you forever. If you want to be with me forever too, just stay with me. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Okay, I'm going to go on a date with Joe. Why you going on a date with Joe? Why ain't accepting flowers from Joe? Because Joe want to get married.
The smartest dude on that show.
What is wrong with you? Like, how are you going to get mad at somebody else wanting to look at other options because you're not trying to give them the commitment that you supposedly have been talking about this whole entire time? Right. I think the show is just showing that if you're not going to make me happy, I'm going to find somebody else who does. Okay, great. Why do we have a show about it? That's what you're supposed to be doing any which way.
The smartest dude on that whole show, when they had their first sit down, when they were going to go separate, was the dude who got up, pulled a ring out of his fucking pocket, and proposed to his girl and was like, I don't want you going with nobody. We going home. Let's go. And they ended up married. And was they the ones that ended up pregnant? I don't know. But they ended up married. So, and then the little redhead dude, he decided he was going to copy off of him and take his girl out of there too.
Right.
But no, the first dude, he was the smartest one out there. Like, there's no way. Matter of fact, I'm petty and I'm vindictive. I'll admit that. Yeah, babe, let's go on the show. Let's go on the show. Because at that point, I'm already single. And I'm fucking the chick I'm checking with. We fucking.
Oh wait,
and everybody gonna know.
Are you the one that is saying, "Hey, I want to be married, or we're not together. Let's go on this ultimatum show"? Or are you the one being dragged on the show because you're not getting into the marriage like field game of it?
Right, because don't forget there are guys who went on the show as well because they gave the ultimatum to the woman.
Yeah, I understand that. And so
which one are you?
More than likely, it would be the situation where I gave the ultimatum. But if I gave the ultimatum, I'm breaking up with you. Like, if I have to give an ultimatum,
I'm like, how did we get to the show?
The ultimatum in the first place, then why are we together? Because after a certain period of time, ladies, the man know if he wants to marry you. Period.
2 years.
After 2 years, and we're not married yet, or not having
2 Christmases, 2 Valentine's Day, 2 Thanksgivings. Bitch, you know what the fuck I want.
At the point where we having the conversation.
I'm not saying that's when you have to be married, but if there's not a road, a temptation, if there's not a push on the roller coaster of marriage, then
nothing. Yeah, we having a conversation. We need to be talking about, our common goals and the same. Do we have the same ideals? We need, because why am I dating you if we're not dating towards marriage?
If that's what you want, if that is your end goal,
if that's your end goal,
right?
If you just want to date, then that's one thing. But if you're trying to date to get married, and I've already told you that I'm trying to date you to get, you know what I'm saying, like I want to be married at some point in time, especially for somebody who's like in our age group. You know what I'm saying? We looking to get married, and if I'm not trying to be with you. I'm not going to be your forever girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be with you 9 years later. And we still ain't married. And we got 17 kids in a house on the hill, but I still don't have your last name. That is a problem for me.
I don't want y'all last name. Y'all can keep that shit. But I do want a long-term certified marriage. That is
fair enough. Fair enough. Just get married. God damn it. Just somebody come marry her.
Somebody,
But
please. I had a very long conversation with a friend today, and it was just a little snippet.
did he
I was gonna say we
propose?
should be. No, motherfucker. What are you
Oh.
talking? But I was saying that, like, what I think is something that we could have a conversation on the show with, or whatever, is living vicariously through your friends, right?
Yeah.
So for my friends who have been in long-term relationships, are married, have kids, or they're just in a long-term relationship period, or whatever like that. Sometimes if I'm telling them about my, doing my expose of my life, or just telling them like the fun I have, or if I'm just out here like, oh, I want to go to DC, I just flew. Like I went, like, whatever the case may be. Some of them are like, girl, like, so, or like even some of the guys would be like, man, I be living like vicariously through you. Like, you just get up, you do what you want to do, you go on about your life, you're living it, it is what it is. You're doing what we could have been or should have been doing, but not saying our life is bad, but in that realm. And I've always heard it. I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. Well, today a guy friend actually told me, he was just like, yeah, man, sometimes I wish I could just get up and go and do and not have to worry about house bills and all this other stuff. But then he's like, but what's crazy is you're the one who wants to live our life while we're trying to live yours. And I'm like, fine, effingly. Someone opens their eyes and sees the problem. I'm like, y'all are trying to live vicariously through me. I hate this life.
But that's always how it
I don't
is.
want this no more. I don't want
Married
this at
people
all. Like,
Married people and people in long-term relationships fantasize about being single, and single people fantasize about being in a long-term relationship or
yeah.
being
And
married.
if it's not even being single, it's
No.
just being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it because you don't have any children or attachments
Right.
or responsibilities to take care of it. And like,
Right.
I completely understand that, like, if that's your thing, but like, don't come to me talking about, oh, I just wish I lived your life. Like, shut up. You about to go in your house and be with your partner, cook a very happy meal together, lay up on the couch watching The Ultimatum, talking shit about the people on The Ultimatum while someone's rubbing your feet or rubbing your head or whatever like that. And now you're sitting there falling asleep on the couch because now you're two old bastards with the lights turned off and everything. Then you got to climb up and get in bed, and then you're gonna roll over and put your Bengay on, whatever the case may be. You're
Yeah,
living,
you better not get my
like,
goddamn bed smell like
you're living
Bengay.
a fantasy.
Hey,
Okay,
hey, hey,
and it
hey,
is what it is.
don't hate on Ben Gay right now, okay?
You better
Because
not
I
get my goddamn
I
bed
don't
smell
use
like
Bengay.
I
I
Bengay.
use
surely
Tiger
need Tiger Balm on
Balm.
my knee right now, okay?
Tiger
Yeah,
Balm will get you
find
right.
something that smell
Tiger
different. I don't
Balm
care.
is where it's at.
Tiger Balm will get you right.
Uh,
Man.
Tiger Balm will get you right. But guys, and more important things, and speaking of alternative and all that other stuff, and talking about having long-term goals, it's our 1-year anniversary of our podcast. And so, which is super
we
happy.
made it. We're not dead.
Yeah. And
I
we
was
made
Nobody
it.
concerned
got
for
hurt.
you, Trey, okay?
We
I
made
I was
it.
gonna
thought
live.
somebody
I
was
was gonna
gonna
live.
take the
Wasn't nobody
flight.
gonna do nothing
Listen,
to
I
me.
thought
Nobody
somebody
was
was
going
gonna
to
take the
do
flight.
anything to me.
we lived, Vidi Vidi Vici, okay? We got here. We lived, we caught,
We
we saw.
did. We did.
And I'm super, super happy that you guys have stuck around with us, that you guys have been here with us since day one. Some of y'all have literally been here since the
Since
launch.
day one.
And we
Definitely appreciate
you.
you guys.
More importantly, Genocide Circus, we appreciate you and love you. Thank you. So
Wait. What about Cheesy Fries? What about her?
and Jamaica, thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. We
Jamaica
appreciate
been here
you
since
both.
They the
day
1-2 punch.
We appreciate you both because you guys have literally been here since day one, and we appreciate you so much. This whole entire
Need
year
y'all to start showing up on Snacker Flick. That's all.
this whole entire year has gone by in a blink of an eye. Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize it until I looked and I was like, damn, dog, we've been doing this for an exact like whole year. Actually, this Sunday is a year and 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, a year and a week, in 2 weeks that we've been doing it. And I'm super happy to still be standing here besides these two lovely people. Love and appreciate you both because honestly, I was
don't
not
appreciate the
part of this
hesitation.
plan. They both just was like, hey, yo, we need somebody else. And Roy over here was like, yo, Candace like talking about sucking nigga shit. Why not? We just call it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm here for it. Like, why not? And after our first pilot episode by ourselves, we were like, yo, we got it. We got a good show. We got money and everything. So we all have selected our best episode, and my favorite episode is episode, I can't remember the exact thing, but it was with Rick and when I came to visit to Maryland. It was episode 3850 was the title of the episode.
She's one of my
Obviously,
favorite. Y'all heard me talk about that.
yeah, it's episode 17. If you guys want to watch back, it's episode 17, 38, 50. It was my first time seeing all of them in person. Hadn't met anybody in person at all at that point in time. So it was nice. Of course, I was greeted by great hosts of, you know, Hubducer and Royal. And yeah, I got really, really drunk and had a good time.
Drunk.
We were all completely horribly
drunk.
Trey was lit.
It was a whole lot.
Anyway, but I was drunk as hell, and we were all sitting on the couch having a good. And it was the most interactive episode or stream that we had because we were all in each other's faces, and it was just good. And Hubducer made some really good ribs. I fucked them ribs up. So yeah, it was a great time. It was a great time.
Yeah, honestly, that was my favorite too. I know we talked about that pre-show, but
yeah,
it was my favorite too. Because
you're not gonna throw no palm trees over here right now?
No, I ain't gonna throw up no more shade. I think you've thrown enough. But
to be honest, I didn't hear you say that. I'm not gonna hold it. I did not hear you say that.
It was honestly between that and the one that we did with Weekend Herb. So shout out to Herb because anytime Herb joins the show, it's a good time. You know what I mean? It's always a good time. But I think
it's a headache.
I think 17 is probably my favorite because we were all together and we, you know, had a lot of fun. It was a great conversation. You guys didn't hear it, but pre-show, I was just watching the playback and you know, my co-host heard it, but it was just like guys who you know, getting undressed in front of us and how unsafe. Sure, we'll probably find a clip to show y'all at one point in time, but it was just listening to the debate between these two. Okay, listening to them two go back and forth about this situation. This subject was hilarious, and I think the chemistry between our panel is awesome. You know, like if I was going to have a show with anybody, I'm glad I have it with y'all.
Oh man, I love y'all so much, man. Y'all just make me feel so good on the inside, all warm and fuzzy and frothy. Yeah, sorry, I had to get that one in there. But my favorite episode was none other than when I had to make the appearance in a different wig. Trayana, yeah. Trayana. And I had the neck pop and everything. That was my favorite episode.
Podcast.
The wrong podcast. It was an episode 39. Almost had me tie this joint up in a ponytail. Yeah. My sister's going to kill me when she realizes I still have her wig.
I was about to say, does she know you still have it?
No. Try.
And that's
because if she watched the show, then that's proof right there.
Yeah, that's a good part.
She makes them. So I mean, hey, and we the same skin tone, so I guess the part works and everything, whatever.
Do you know how much your sister costs?
I'll ask her. But yeah, she makes them. So
tell her, hit me up.
Will do. I'll tell her she need to watch this episode. Then she'll be mad, and I'll be like, I'm trying to make you some money. But that was my favorite episode. We got to see our acting chops. I could not keep a straight face during that episode whatsoever. Shout out to Candace because you did an amazing job. It was just fun. It was just fun to play a ratchet broad who was chasing after the dude that screwed her over for once. We did. I think we even did the. Didn't we do the online test? We did the female delusional calculator. We did that junk.
We did.
It was hilarious. So definitely check out some of our old back catalog. We've got what's episode 48 now.
This is episode 48. Yeah.
This is episode 48. I mean, technically it's supposed to be episode 50, like 50 something.
It's supposed to
be. Look, we be having shit going on. Okay, we still here.
Some stuff.
Listen. Life be happening. Okay, my whole knee situation is still happening. It's still a situation. So.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, just a heads up, everybody, we're not going to be here for Mother's Day. So I know that we're very short notice when we put out when we're not going to be here. So put it on your calendars. We will not be here for Mother's Day, which is 2 Sundays from now. So we're not going to be here for Mother's Day.
Right.
Put it on your calendar.
You know it's going to be people over my house. I don't even know why you're fake. We're not even going to fake with it. Yeah. Ain't no show.
I'm going to be in the state, so yeah.
Oh, where you going? Hold up.
Who
said you could leave?
My mama did when she moved from Maryland. So yeah, she gone. They gone.
Oh, they did move. That's crazy. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Oh,
well, congratulations.
Oh, hello? What happened? You good? You all right over there?
It unplugged itself. Dang, it did it again.
Feel the way you fly.
Right?
I'm sorry, I'm watching the playback of her reaction. All right. So you guys know what we do next. After the show is the after party, and after the party is the hotel lobby.
Why was I just thinking about that? As soon as you said after the show, it hit my head.
Hey, so I'm about to drop the link in the YouTube chat, I think. Yes. Yep. Invite, copy. Let's make this last forever. Endeavor. So if you've enjoyed this conversation and you want to join the aftercare conversation where we will continue said conversation and speak about your favorite moments in the show, topics that we may have missed, anything that we went over, come and join the conversation and show your goddamn face. We know who you are. And share it to people who are like-minded. Ladies, if you will, let them know where they can find you.
She as Royal_KP on TikTok and Royal Rain on IG, ROY4LR4YNE.
You guys can follow me at Chase Inc. on TikTok. That's CHAYESINC. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Candy Taste Sweet, because it's true. And I also have a link now in my Instagram and my TikTok bio. It's a Beacons website, so you guys can actually go in there and find us if it makes it easier for you through there, because it has all my links and all my distribution, all the products I'm a part of. So if you have trouble looking for us on YouTube, like everybody says they do, you can go right there. And
not to mention the fact that we also have an IG. So
King of Joy Podcast on Instagram.
Yeah, King of Joy Podcast.
All right. And it's your boy Trey Proper, literally everywhere. I don't have a link. I do have a link tree. I just don't have everything on it. I need to update that. Sorry. I will. But yeah, you could literally find me by Googling Trey, and I'm one of the things that pops up, which is amazing to me at this point. But yeah, come on, let your boy. We'll see you guys later.
All right. Bye, guys.
Peace.
All right, good night, everybody.